Celeste Rivas Hernandez. I know I've made a couple videos yapping about this, and it's a really genuinely difficult topic to even talk about because of how disgusting it is. But the reason why I keep bringing it up is because there is a not small number of people, a relatively strong movement, the dipshits for David, that are constantly trying to brainwash people into believing that David has been framed. They keep regurgitating that. Well,
Now, I'm not gonna lie, I haven't heard what he's talking about, but on TikTok earlier, I'd seen some like really sick shit. I'm almost sure it was like AI. It was David in like a Fortnite costume, and it was like Celeste, and she was like singing in the middle of the screen. I think it was AI. I don't think it was actually him in a Fortnite costume. And it was him like pickaxing like the air or like I guess her head or some shit. And I seen it and I was like, bro, this is fucking like disgusting. I'm not gonna lie. I was like, bro, why are they AI in this dude? Bro, I, I guess because there was like, apparently Fortnite's gonna add him. I guess Fortnite said they were gonna add David. I think that's a joke. I think somebody probably like faked it. I don't think that's a real tweet, but that's what I seen earlier, and I seen that AI of him or like him in an outfit, and then like Celeste was at the bottom of the screen, and I was like, bro, what am I looking at, bro? It's
they haven't
uh,
found him guilty yet. Thus, we know he's innocent and he has been framed. He's actually a victim in all of this, and they're trying to bury all of the real information and muddy everything, even though so much of this evidence is publicly available evidence. That, like, not even all the stuff that's in the case right now, there is so much information you can find that if you have a functioning frontal lobe will lead you to one conclusion. David is pure evil. And every new piece of information from the prosecution here is beyond disturbing. So I just blabber about this because I want to at least provide the real facts about the case here to try and combat all of the incorrect gobbledygook people are spitting out there, this mumbo jumbo from this group that for some reason wants everyone to be supportive of David and like plug their ears to what the prosecution is bringing forth. It's fucking lunacy.
Mark, the details alleged by prosecutors are frankly disgusting. In this preliminary 8-page brief signed by LA District Attorney Nathan Hochman, prosecutors paint a picture of a rising pop star who they say lured a young girl
two
and then
chainsaws.
eliminated her when she threatened to expose their relationship and derail his fame.
This had been brought up previously with the potential motive behind David's killing of Celeste Rivas Hernandez. He had known her since she was 11 and sexually abused her, and he didn't even hide this deplorable situation here.
Yeah, nah, he didn't really hide it. He went on stream with her. And actually a lot of people actually knew. It's fucking crazy.
She had appeared in like streams, there's videos of the two of them together. His community was even aware of her, but according to the mods, they didn't know that she was a child. They were
Sure.
unaware of her age, nor did they know that
Yeah.
she was reported missing. I don't know if that's true or not, or if the mods are just trying to cover their own ass so they don't end up on the hook and in trouble. Couldn't tell you, but the point is, there is a lot of evidence with these two publicly together in photos, videos, all of that. And at some point, it is alleged that she made a threat about, making it more known that she's a child. She is a minor. And thus, the prosecution alleges that the motive was David wanting to save his career because if that information got out, it would damage his blossoming career. So, in order to try and save that, he killed her.
In court for the second time today, attorneys for the singer, whose real name is David Burke, fought to seal the brief that prosecutors believe lays out a specific timeline and evidence of 14-year-old Celeste Rivas Hernandez's murder. Prosecutors allege Rivas Hernandez and Burke first met when she was just 11 years old,
Fifth
and they
grade.
have explicit sexual photos of the two. The brief also claims Burke stabbed Celeste several times and watched her bleed to death.
Now, in the previous information that was provided by prosecution, they were talking about the child pornography that they found on David's phone. Now they are also saying that there are
Oh
explicit.
my gosh. Dude, they said No, I don't know if this is completely true or not, but I remember hearing that he had like, bro, it was what was it, bro? I don't remember, but they said it was the equivalent of like I think like 100 full length movies or some shit. He had like the equivalent of like 100 full length movies on his phone, or like something terabyte. I don't know. I think he said like 5 terabytes. I don't remember how much it was, or if they gave a number. This is what I think I heard. I heard it was like a lot, bro. Like 100 full length movies, and bro, they just. I mean, Jesus, bro. Like,
Sexual photos of David and Celeste together. So that is probably the child porn that they were referring to then. Also saying that the two had met when she was 11. And the autopsy report was recently made public, where the cause of death was revealed to be sharp objects through the torso. So they are alleging that David stabbed her multiple times and then watched her bleed to death.
In the days after prosecutors claimed David had slaughtered Rivas Hernandez,
the autopsy. I didn't read a lot of it. I think a lot of it was actually like told to me by like a YouTuber, but I think it is online, and they did say that she had punctured holes. I don't know if he's gonna go over it, but they did say she had like punctured holes in her chest, which signifies like stabbing or some type of like pick item. Um, but I don't know if they're gonna go over it. But apparently she had missing eye, like missing eyeball. Her face was completely kind of melted, like gone, as if he like tried to like burn her face off. I guess to hide the fact that like whoever like had the identity of the body. He cut the finger off that said David too. I mean, like he just did foul, disgusting things to this body. Um, it's just horrible.
they say he purchased tools to dismember her body. Prosecutors say Amazon delivered 2 chainsaws, a body bag, and blue inflatable swimming pool to David's home, all ordered under a fake name. Prosecutors say David cut off 2 of her fingers because one of them had a tattoo of his name on it. Prosecutors also allege they have text messages that discuss sex between the two, her pregnancy, and an abortion.
Oh,
Every new
shoot.
piece
I
of
didn't know about that.
information that comes out from this case here is just shockingly evil. Like, this guy is the fucking devil, man. Holy. It's it's unthinkable, just actual unfathomable evil.
Yeah.
So there's allegations that she was pregnant and also had an abortion, and they also have evidence of text messages exchanged between David and Celeste about sex. There were some headlines floating around earlier, like yesterday, that apparently said that this is from Celeste to David, that all they do is have sex and hang out, and she wants something more than that. That's so fucked up. This is a child that David is routinely sexually abusing. Now, the method of chopping up her body to try and hide it was never disclosed to my knowledge, but here the prosecution is saying that they found evidence that he had purchased chainsaws and an inflatable pool, and that's how he was dismembering her corpse. Her corpse was found in pieces in the trunk of his vehicle after roughly 5 months decomposing in there. And another thing is, with this information about her pregnancy and abortion, it reminded me that when this story was first breaking and I was first covering it, there were a lot of like screenshots being shared around of things David had said to his community, and one of them did mention a child on the way. Now, I don't imagine.
Yeah. Okay. Like promoting page basically Patrick CC, like this like Patrick CC. I remember when I seen this video back then when exactly what he's talking about, like when he covered it like hella months ago. This exact same thing, Patrick CC, he went in detail about all this, like the whole Discord logs and all this shit. And I forgot the user's name, but like if you actually want to know like hella more and like a lot more information on this, he has like a kind of patch as like a really old video on this situation, and he goes in detail about the whole Discord thing and about this, like he said, me and Dilly the user got killed in the way. It's supposedly Celeste's Discord account, and they also said it leads to another one of her TikTok accounts as well, where she posted David's hand on her stomach, and then she also posted something else on a TikTok account with like kind of a bigger belly, or I think it was a bigger belly, but I know it was just David's hand on her stomach, and I think it was just her hand on her stomach. It was something like that, and they kept hinting at the fact that they had the child, and she even posted it online. Um, and it was but I do believe this. It is, bro. It's just
Child
nasty.
on the way. Now, I don't imagine Discord screenshots from David are going to be anything the prosecution is going to be using in court in any big capacity. I imagine they have far stronger evidence than that. But even still, the fact that stuff like this exists is extremely alarming, and it is publicly accessible information here. To my knowledge, those screenshots, like the one where he said he had a kid on the way with @deleted_user, haven't been debunked as some kind of hoax or photoshopped or a user that was impersonating him. I haven't seen anything to that effect, but community members seem to think that he was joking about that it was just a bit of a goof about
Nah,
the kid on
there's
the
a lot more
way.
evidence on it.
Though, in light of what the prosecution alleges about Celeste being pregnant and abortion, seems like there's a chance it wasn't a joke. But again,
Yeah.
I don't think Discord messages here are going to be something the prosecution is relying on. I imagine they have far more solid evidence. But I just wanted to mention this because it reminded me, and it is just another piece of publicly available information that is out there that is now having even more weight put on it because of what the prosecution has been alleging with everything they have.
And text messages where Celeste threatens to expose Burke and destroy his career. In July, months after prosecutors say he'd stabbed her to death, Burke placed her body in the inflatable pool he'd ordered to prevent her blood from spilling onto his garage floor and used a chainsaw to cut off her limbs.
The medical examiner's report released just
I didn't know
last
about
week
that.
had noted those pieces
I didn't
of
know
blue
her
plastic
entire
in Rivas
body was
Hernandez
dismembered.
remains.
I thought
Prosecutors
her
now
body
say
was
those
like
pieces of
intact,
blue
but her
plastic
head and
were
stuff and
pieces of
fingers
the
were gone.
inflatable pool that they say David had placed her body in. Burke has pleaded not guilty. He will stay locked up in jail until his next court date in May.
He
I
pleaded
don't think
not
that's some
guilty.
kind of big coinky dink there that the blue plastic that was noted in that report from the body happens to also potentially match the inflatable pool that they allege he had purchased in addition to those chainsaws.
Yeah.
Like, I think if anyone's got their thinking caps on, and if you're actually bothering to pay attention to the case and actually look at the evidence, even the evidence that is publicly accessible, it should be an obvious conclusion here that David is not innocent. He is not some fucking angel, some saint that's been framed by a ne'er-do-well out there that's trying to, ruin David for their dubious schemes. David is pure evil.
Yeah.
That's what I believe, and I think all of the evidence points to that fact as well.
Former prosecutor turned criminal defense attorney R.J. Dreiling says David's defense team will seize on one detail.
They note in their brief that David was sending text messages to Celeste after her death. They're going to use that to prove that, look, there's no way he knew that she was dead or responsible for it. He still tried to communicate with her after her death.
That's a pretty fucking weak argument, if you ask me. No. All of this evidence, it's hooey. It's a load of hooey because the only fact that matters is David was sending her text messages after she was already murdered. Why would he do that if he knew she was dead? Wouldn't make any sense. Checkmate. Gotcha. Like, that's trash. I think that is a complete trash argument because this is clearly someone who is going to great lengths to try and hide this.
Yeah.
Chopping up, dismembering her corpse and stuffing it in a trunk.
Yeah.
I imagine that even someone with only a handful of neurons could have come up with the scheme of still sending text messages even after death to try and give himself an alibi. Like, no.
Yeah, like, I mean, he basically said everything I was just gonna say. It's like, Duh, like he probably sent messages to keep going and to keep it like to make it appear that she's still alive. Like he's obviously going to continue to send messages to friends and family so they don't assume that she's dead and so they don't call um whatever you call it, like a wellness check on her or whatever. Like obviously he's gonna continue to send messages to pretend like her to kind of push it on. My only question is, bro, is that he did all this but just left the body there. Like my whole plan was not plan, but idea is like what was he trying to do? Why would he just leave it there? Like did he like did he like being around it? Did he like the smell of it? Like what why would he keep it in his car
But look, guys,
and would drive around with it? I think they said like, dude,
I didn't know. See, I sent messages when she was dead. I didn't know. It's terrible. Who could have done this? We gotta find who did this. There's a maniac on the loose. Like it's. I think it is a terrible, terrible argument. Now, of course, they're paid to represent him. They have to do their job. I get it, I guess. But my point is, I don't think that's going to be very strong on their side. I just really don't. Anyway, as always, praying that there will be justice for Celeste Rivas Hernandez.